Hi viewers, I am Mia Bethany from Facts Factory. In this video, we are gonna see a series of news which has hit the headlines in the past few days. Before we continue, we got a little challenge for our amazing viewers. First, click like, then click the subscribe button and turn on notifications, and we promise you that you won't get abducted by aliens this week. Try it really works. The first news we are gonna see is about Turkey pulls 2 girls out of rubble 3 days after earthquake. In what one rescue worker called a miracle, extraction teams brought 2 girls out alive Monday from the wreckage of their collapsed apartment buildings in the Turkish city of Izmir 3 days after a strong earthquake hit Turkey and Greece. Onlookers applauded in joy and relief as ambulances carrying the girls rushed to hospitals immediately after their rescues. The overall death toll in Friday's quake reached 85 after teams found more bodies overnight amid toppled buildings in Izmir, Turkey's third largest city. Close to 1,000 people were injured, mostly in Turkey, in the quake, which was centered in the Aegean Sea northeast of the Greek island of Samos. It killed 2 teenagers on Samos and injured at least 19 other people on the island. Rescue workers clapped in unison Monday as 14-year-old Idil Sirin was removed from the rubble after being trapped for 58 hours. Her 8-year-old sister Ipek did not survive, NTV television reported. 7 hours later, rescuers working on another toppled building extricated 3-year-old Elif Perensek, whose mother and 2 sisters had been rescued 2 days earlier. The child spent 65 hours in the wreckage of her apartment and became the 106th person to be rescued alive, the state-run Anadolu agency reported. Muammer Selik of Istanbul's search and rescue team told NTV television that he thought Elif was dead when he reached the child inside the wreckage. There was dust on her face was white, he said. When I cleaned the dust from her face, she opened her eyes. I was astonished. Selik said, "It was a miracle, it was a true miracle." The girl would not let go of his hand throughout the rescue operation, Selik said, adding, "I am now her big brother." There was some debate over the magnitude of the earthquake. The US Geological Survey rated it 7.0, while Istanbul's Kandili Institute put it at 6.9, and Turkey's Emergency Management Agency said it measured 6.6. The quake triggered a small tsunami that hit Samos and the Seferihisar district of Izmir, drowning the elderly woman. The tremors were felt across western Turkey, including in Istanbul, as well as in the Greek capital of Athens. Hundreds of aftershocks followed. Turkey has a mix of older buildings and cheap or illegal construction, which can lead to serious damage and deaths when earthquakes hit. Regulations have been tightened in light of earthquakes to strengthen or demolish older buildings, and urban renewal is underway in Turkish cities, but it is not happening fast enough. Turkey sits on top of fault lines and is prone to earthquakes. In 1999, 2 powerful quakes killed some 18,000 people in northwestern Turkey. Earthquakes are frequent in Greece as well. The next news is about actor Eddie Hassel, who is 30 years old, killed in Texas shooting. The actor Eddie Hassel, known for his roles in the NBC show Surface and the 2010 film The Kids Are Alright, has died after shooting in Texas, police said. He was 30. The shooting happened early Sunday in the Dallas suburb of Grand Prairie, police said. Grand Prairie Police said in a statement that officers responded to a report of a shooting and found Hassel suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead, police said. A representative for Hassel told Variety that The shooting appeared to be connected to a carjacking. Grand Prairie police said the motive remained under investigation but that a car had been taken from the scene of the shooting. No arrests have been made, but police said the car has since been removed. The next news is about 16 dead, thousands of homes damaged in typhoon in Philippines. At least 16 people were killed as Typhoon Goni lashed the Philippines over the weekend, and about 13,000 shanties and houses were damaged or swept away in the eastern island province that was first hit by the ferocious storm, officials said Monday. Goni blasted into Catanduanes province at dawn Sunday as a super typhoon with sustained winds of 225 km per hour and gusts of 280 km per hour. But the storm weakened considerably after making landfall and shifted direction to spare the capital, Manila, before blowing out into the South China Sea. The Office of Civil Defense said at least 16 people were killed in Catanduanes and nearby Albay province, where 3 others remain missing. Catanduanes, an island province of more than 260,000 people that is often lashed by Pacific storms, was isolated after losing power and communications due to Goni and another typhoon that had hit a week earlier. But officials there managed to connect to the outside world on Monday after disaster response authorities flew to the devastated island with satellite phones. Catanduanes government Joseph Sua and other officials said at least 5 people drowned and 4 were injured in the typhoon, which whipped up 5-meter or 16-foot storm surges. About 13,000 shanties and houses were damaged or swept away when the typhoon slammed into the province, they said. Many residents fled to safety from their homes as the typhoon approached. Sua described the onslaught as severe and reported that some coastal areas were swamped by frightening storm surges. His brief conversation with some cabinet officials in Manila was broadcast live on state-run TV. About 10,000 shanties were totally washed out along the coastlines that were hit by the typhoon, Catanduanes Rep. Hector Shansine said. About 80% of the electric poles on the island were toppled and roads linking the province's 11 towns remained impassable to vehicles, Sua said. An army general on the island appealed for more troops to help distribute food packs and water to residents. He added that the army camp was destroyed by the typhoon and soldiers have camped out at the airport, which remained open. An Air Force cargo plane was to deliver food packs, drinking water, blankets, and other relief goods to the island province. The typhoon also devastated the nearby province of Albay, where heavy rains washed down boulders and mud flows from Mayon volcano, engulfing about 150,000 in a single community in the town of Guanabataan. 2 residents were killed in the community and 3 others remain missing, Albay government Al Francis Bichara said. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte was to conduct an aerial inspection of the typhoon hit region on his way to Manila on Monday from his southern hometown, officials said. The 75-year-old leader has been criticized for his absences from public view amid the coronavirus pandemic and recent storms, but his sides say he is working even when away from the public. One of the most powerful typhoons in the world this year, Goni evoked memories of Typhoon Haiyan, which left more than 7,300 people dead or missing, flattened entire villages, swept ships inland, and displaced more than 5 million in the central Philippines in November 2013. The Philippines is lashed by about 20 typhoons and storms each year. It's also located in the so-called Pacific Ring of Fire, where earthquakes and volcano eruptions are common, making it one of the world's most disaster-prone countries.